In a previous video, I shared with you some tips on installing new seals in your engine, transmission, or rear end. But I realized I failed to mention how you get them out. Now, getting the seals out is not as perilous as putting them in, but still there's a couple tricks and a few tools you might need to get them out properly. I use two tools, depending upon the situation. The first is a tool like this, which will allow you to go in and pry the tool out. And in some cases, you may not have the room, or you may want to protect the housing and not pry against it. In that case, I use this tool here, which uses a hammer to kind of slide pull the seal out. Let me use this rear end now. I'm going to take the rear end. I'm not going to pull these seals out because I need to leave them in there for a future video, but I'm going to at least show you how these two tools would apply to pulling the seals out of this rear differential housing. Most of these pry type seal removal tools have two hooks on them, little different angles. This one can be used to remove a smaller diameter seals, and this one larger diameter. If you take and put the end of it right down in behind the seal, you need to put it in far enough that you get a hold of the steel ring on the back side of the rubber. And then you can just pry against the housing or the other side of the seal. You may have to move it to a couple different locations, and finally you'll be able to pop it right out of the housing. The other type of tool is inserted. I call this the poor man's slide hammer. You know, if you have a slide hammer with a seal attachment, you could use that, but this is a simple replacement for that. You put the hook in behind the seal like that, make sure it's secure, and then you can just get a hold of a hammer and hammer on this handle until you drive the seal out. This particular tool is best used where you have a seal that is in a position where you really have a tight clearance around it. You can't get the pry tool in. Also, if whatever you're prying the seal out of is aluminum, you have to be a little careful prying against the aluminum housing, or you can damage it. There are other challenging and probably more exotic ways that you can remove certain seals, but I'm not going to go over them in this video. These are the simplest tools that you can find. They are readily available at many auto parts stores. If you can't find them, we do carry them on my website. And be sure and check out my other video on avoiding problems when you go to install your new seals.